Nobody here but us flannel-wearing Beatles fans. It's day 204.
Fact of
Beatles-a-Day.
keeping the doctor well away.
Because.
Oh, why?
Music will save the day. Oh, it's been a busy day for little Mo.
It has.
Yeah,
I got it.
it's been a busy
Boom,
day
boom.
for little Mo. Lots going on.
Lots going on.
Yeah.
There's a low pressure front or something coming in. It's been windy, raining, sunning all day long. Sure. I've been doing paperwork and finalizing insurance stuff. There's been construction in the house. The cats have been freaking out a little bit, but it's been a full-on day. I've done lots of GNU work, some mixing. Yikes! Lots of mixing.
And all I had to do was go to work. You know, when you go to work to have a break from all those things, things
Maybe
are bad.
Maybe I should get a job.
Yeah, things are bad at home when.
So much.
Well, in the interest of getting you to bed in a timely manner, let's move straight on to
Bits of Tid. Hey!
I've got some interesting Tid for you tonight.
It's really good Tid.
It's going to be in 3 parts. So we'll do Tid, we'll do pre-Tid and post-Tid.
Pre and post.
Yes.
Tid.
So this was on the acetate record with the other recording that we did the other night. So this was the Buddy Holly song that accompanied In Spite of All the Danger on that acetate from 1958.
That's right.
Now, the Quarrymen went down to London to record this little single, if you want to call it. It was kind of, I guess it was a single.
2 sides.
And it should have cost them, well, in fact, it did cost them 17 shillings and 3 pence.
3 pence.
Yes, 3 pence. But between the 4 of them, and we're talking John, Paul, George, oh no, there's 5 of them, John Lowe and Colin Hanton, those 5 of them. They only had 15 shillings. So the studio made them come back and wouldn't give them the record until they had made up the difference there. So I don't think it took them long. And then as I said the other night, they kept it for a week each, except John Lowe, who kept it for 23 years. And
Smart lad.
Nobody in the general public even heard it until 1985. It's a Buddy Holly song, and it was inspired when Buddy Holly and Jerry Allison went to watch The Searchers at the movie theatre starring John Wayne. And one of the lines in the movie kept being repeated over and over and over. John Wayne kept saying, "That'll be the day." And there you go. So that's your pre-Tid. Stick around for song
post-Tid.
Post-Tid, yes.
All right. Ready?
I think so.
That'll be the day. You want to start that?
We're suddenly taking my surprise.
Well, that'll be the day when you say goodbye. Yeah, that'll be the day when you make me cry. You say you're gonna leave me. You know it's a lie, 'cause that'll be the day when I die. Well, you give me all your loving, I hope you turtle dove and all your hugs and kisses and your money too. You say you love me, baby, until you tell me, baby, that someday that I'll be. Well, that'll be the day. I'll say goodbye. That'll be the day. You make me cry. You say you're gonna leave me. You know
Yes. The vocal
You
stylings.
say you
of
told me
Mofield.
and you told me boldly.
To boldly go where no
Of all the countries
Quarrymen
with
has gone
research.
before.
All right.
So there we go. That was
Buddy Holly a la Beatles.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it was a B-side because I don't even think that acetates had B-sides back then, did they?
They just had, yeah.
I don't know.
The original A-side.
A little bit before my time, therefore.
A little bit.
Yes. So, would you like your post-it?
Aye, bring on the post-it. I'm all about the post-it.
Let's talk a little bit about Anthology 1 and how Anthology 1 came about. Now, I think if you dig deep enough into the archives and the story of Beatles albums and things, I think Anthology was a response to all of the bootlegs that had been put out.
Could well be.
Over the years.
That would not surprise me at all.
So all of the early recordings, all of the things that would kind of pop up on all of these bootleg albums that nobody had ever heard before. It was, the Beatles bootlegs were very well known, very well documented.
That is fact.
So I think definitely the first Anthology was a response to that. And the project manager of that album was George Martin, of course. Who better to be the project manager for that album? And George Martin really wanted to tell the story from the early days of the Beatles all the way up until 1970. And he said in order to be able to do that and pick songs for the album, he listened to every single thing.
Oh my gosh,
that
can you
had
imagine?
Ever been committed to tape. Hi, Peanut. Hi, Little Bean. And he said he listened to about 600 items, labeled either the Beatles or the Quarrymen. Here comes Bean. There she is.
There's a Bean in the studio.
Hi, Little Peanut. You wanna hear about Anthology? About 600 items George Martin listened to in order to gather material. There we go. There's a little drive-by. She's coming looking for food. Don't kid yourself. Now,
and George Martin, you were saying.
Here's a couple of super interesting things. The person who designed the artwork for the front of Anthology was Klaus Voormann, who had been with the Beatles.
Right, in Hamburg.
Yeah, from the very beginning.
In Hamburg.
Yeah, his
Klaus
friend and Astrid.
Astrid,
Astrid, who went on to date with Stuart. Yeah. Let me just get rid of that there. Got a little bit of light on our faces. He designed the cover art. Now, if you notice, the picture right in the middle is actually a picture of the Beatles with Pete Best.
Yeah.
And he's cleverly designed it so that Ringo's face is over Pete Best. It's kind of I don't know.
Oh, wow,
I don't think it was shade on purpose. But Anthology 1 was
it's not shade if it's not on purpose.
Anthology 1 was the first Beatles album to ever go into the Billboard 200 album chart at number 1, to enter.
Oh, did it?
Number 1, yeah.
Now that is hot tin.
However, and it stayed there for 3 weeks. Within 6 weeks, it was platinum.
Wow, that is extra tin.
And if you think about it, there hadn't been a Beatles album with new music on it for 25 years.
So people were jonesing for it.
Right.
I know when it came out, I was like, I have to hear everything about this. I need to know more about the Beatles.
Right. Now, if you were in the UK,
I might have been one of the people that helped.
It was actually kept off the number 1 spot by 2 TV singers called Robson and Jerome. Robson and Jerome were in this program called Soldier Soldier, and they had this thing in this program. They were actors. It was a drama series where they sang Unchained Melody on the show, and then they became unlikely pop stars, and they became a bit of a novelty act.
Dang that on Unchained Melody.
They released an album, and it was that album that kept the Beatles Anthology from number 1 in the UK chart. That is a
crime.
Right?
It's a crime.
So there was your TID for tonight.
Good TID.
Pre
That's quality
and
TID.
post, and maybe there will be some more on Anthology 1, because I think it's a very interesting project. So, thank you for all the love and sticking with us even through the exploration of some of these covers, and I think you're all enjoying them, which is good.
Yeah, I think it's really important to know, the history of where a band came from, especially a band so revered for their writing. I mean, you can hear their influence, the influences that they drew from. And that's one of the things I like about starting kind of like in the height of their career when they were first pop idols, going to some of their later stuff where they developed as songwriters, and then coming back and studying some of the things at the beginning that fed that machine, that wonderful creative machine that was the Beatles. You can really hear the thread all the way through. So it's pretty interesting doing it in this order.
Yeah. So, folks, that's your lot for this Wednesday night. We are now over the hump. Tomorrow is Thursday. We will see.
It's almost Thanksgiving in Canada.
Yes, it is. More on that.
The long weekend. Okay. So, friends, thank you. We do love you. And that is exactly the way it is.
Good night, everyone.
Night, friends.